My child, I come to you quietly, not with thunder or fear, but with warmth, because heaven speaks softly when love is involved. I am sent to you because your name was spoken where time does not exist, where regret is finally understood, and where truth is clear. Someone you love spoke your name there. They did not whisper it lightly. They spoke it with a heart that finally sees everything. They said they are sorry. They said they are sorry for not being with you when you needed them the most. They see now the moments when you were strong on the outside but breaking on the inside. They see the days you waited for comfort, the nights you hoped someone would notice your silence, and the times you told yourself you were fine when you were not. They want you to know that their absence was never because you were not important. It was because they did not know how to show up, and they were carrying their own fears, wounds, and confusion. They said they are sorry for every time they chose themselves when you needed them. They are sorry for the moments they turned away instead of leaning in. They are sorry for the words they did not say and the love they did not express. They see now how heavy that felt to you. They understand now how much courage it took for you to keep going without the support you deserved. They said they are sorry for everything you did for them that they did not recognize at the time. They remember your kindness. They remember your patience. They remember the way you gave without keeping score. They remember the times you stayed when it would have been easier to leave. They see now how much of yourself you poured into them, even when you were tired, even when you were hurting, even when you felt unseen. They are sorry for not giving you the love you deserved. Not because they did not love you, but because they did not know how to love in a healthy way. They did not know how to love without fear. They did not know how to love without running. They want you to know that their lack was never a measure of your worth. It was a reflection of their own brokenness. They said they wish they could go back and hold your hands during the moments you felt alone. They wish they could sit beside you and listen without interrupting, without judging, without trying to fix you. They wish they could say the words you needed to hear when you needed to hear them. They wish they could protect you from the pain that came from their silence. They want you to know that heaven does not hide truth. From where they stand now, they see your heart clearly. They see your intentions. They see your sacrifices. They see the love you gave so freely. They see the strength it took for you to keep believing in love even when it hurt you. And they are deeply moved by it. My beloved child, I come to you as the quiet voice that has always walked beside you, even in the moments when silence felt like abandonment. I speak now not from a distant heaven, but from the tender space within your own heart where truth still breathes. Listen softly. These words are carried on wings of light, sent to wrap around the places in you that still ache. They are sorry, truly, deeply sorry, for every time they caused you to question your own worth. There were nights you lay awake wondering why your simple desire for presence felt like an unreasonable demand. You only wanted the warmth of honest eyes meeting yours, the reassurance of a hand that stayed when the conversation grew heavy, the gentle consistency of someone who chose you in both the loud and the quiet hours. Instead you received echoes, delays, half-spoken truths that left you piecing together meaning like scattered fragments of a mirror. Each unanswered message, each cancelled plan, each warm moment followed by sudden coldness, it carved little hollows inside you. They see that now. They feel the weight of it. And from this higher place of clarity, they bow their head and whisper, "Forgive me for making you feel you were asking for too much when all you asked for was love in its most basic, beautiful form." The confusion they sowed was never intentional cruelty, but it was real nonetheless. Mixed signals are a kind of emotional storm, sun one moment, sudden rain the next, leaving you soaked and uncertain which season to trust. They made promises wrapped in the sweetest tones, words that felt like vows until time revealed them as wishes spoken without roots. They understand now how each broken promise landed like a small betrayal, how it taught your heart to brace itself instead of open. That was never their desire. They did not wish to teach you caution. Yet the lesson arrived anyway, and for the pain it carried, they are remorseful beyond what words can hold. That echo in your chest, the one that still whispers old hurt when the house is too quiet, they hear it too. Some wounds do not vanish with time, they soften, they change color, they become part of the light that now shines through you. There are questions that still float unanswered in your mind like unanswered prayers. There are goodbyes that arrived without ceremony, without closure, leaving doors half open to rooms you never wanted to revisit. Know this, none of it was orchestrated to shatter you. No part of their confusion or fear or immaturity was designed to make you doubt the beauty of your own soul. It was human brokenness bumping against human longing. It was imperfection meeting devotion. And though the collision left marks, those marks do not define you. They never did. That I want you to feel how grateful they are for you. Gratitude pours from them like light through stained glass, colorful, warm, reverent. They are thankful for every act of love you gave when it would have been easier to close your hands. Thankful for the nights you chose understanding over resentment. Thankful for the forgiveness you offered even when it arrived in silence, without fanfare, without their apology to mirror it. They marvel at your persistence, the way you tried again, believed again, hoped again, long after wisdom might have told you to stop. Your love was a patient teacher. It showed them what devotion looks like. It revealed their own capacity for care that had lain dormant. It changed the shape of their soul in ways that will ripple outward for years, perhaps lifetimes, even if you never witnessed the fullness of that transformation. Your love was not in vain. It was a seed planted in difficult soil that still managed to bloom. Now, sweet one, lay down the guilt you have carried like a second skin. Lay it down gently, without ceremony, without apology. It no longer belongs to you. I see how long you have worn it, how it has clung to you through seasons that asked far more of you than they ever should have. I see how you turn memories over in your mind the way one turns a stone in the hand, searching for hidden beauty, searching for proof that something precious was missed. You ask yourself again and again, if I had been quieter, brighter, less needy, more patient, more understanding, less afraid, would the ending have been different? You replay conversations late into the night, searching for the moment where a different word might have altered the course of everything, where being someone else might have saved what was slipping away. Stop now. Please stop. Your heart has done enough work. The truth is softer and kinder than the story you have been telling yourself, and it asks nothing more from you than your willingness to receive it. You gave everything you had with the light you had at the time. Not the light you have now, polished by grief and wisdom, but the light you carried then, earnest, hopeful, sincere. That offering was real. That offering mattered. It was enough. You were enough. In every tearful night where you held yourself together with shaking hands, in every vulnerable confession spoken through fear, in every quiet act of care that no one ever applauded, you were enough. You did not fail because something ended. The outcome was never a verdict on your worth. It was simply the meeting of two souls standing at different thresholds of awareness, each doing the best they could from where they stood. That meeting shaped you, but it does not define you. Release the whip you have turned toward yourself. Let the self-blame dissolve like mist under the first warmth of morning sun, leaving the air clearer, lighter, easier to breathe. Look at you now. Really look. I see you rising each day even when your body feels heavy with memories it did not ask to carry. I see you choosing to keep going when staying still would have felt safer. I see you offering kindness to strangers while your own heart still remembers unkindness, still flinches at certain tones, still pauses before trusting. I see you learning how to laugh again, tentatively at first, as though laughter might betray the seriousness of what you endured, and then more freely, with growing courage. I see hope returning to your eyes the way dawn returns after a long night, slowly at first, almost imperceptibly, and then suddenly undeniable. We are so proud of you. Proud of the way you refused to let bitterness become your permanent address. Proud of the way you chose tenderness when armor would have been easier. Proud of the way you survived the almost breaking and decided, quietly, stubbornly, beautifully, to live anyway. They long for your freedom. Not the shallow kind that pretends nothing happened, not the brittle smile that insists you are fine when you are not, but the deep liberation that comes when resentment no longer rents space in your spirit. They wish you freedom from the echo of regret that tries to follow you into new rooms, from the invisible chains of what-ifs and if-onlys that tug at your steps. They wish the unfinished sentences, the unsaid apologies, the almost goodbyes to rest gently where they belong, in the past, no longer reaching into your present. They want you to walk forward unburdened, to love with abandon when the right heart arrives, to trust again, not blindly, but wisely, with the discernment your journey has earned and the boundaries that now know their worth. Your love was never wasted. Hear this and let it settle into your bones, deep into the marrow where truths take root and grow without effort. Love is never wasted, my dear one. It doesn't evaporate like morning mist under a harsh sun or dissolve into the void like echoes in an empty room. Even when it seems to fall on unresponsive ground, stone-hearted soil that refuses to yield, parched earth that drinks without giving back in kind, even then, it returns to the giver multiplied in invisible ways, ways that shimmer just beyond the veil of what your eyes can see right now. Picture it, that love you poured out, cup after overflowing cup, doesn't trickle away into nothingness. It rises like a quiet river, carving new paths through your spirit, nourishing hidden gardens within you that were waiting for just such a gift. It becomes deeper compassion, the kind that flows effortlessly from you now, wrapping around others who stumble in their own dark nights. You've learned to see pain not as a stranger but as a familiar traveler, and in that seeing, your heart expands, ready to hold more without breaking. Greater wisdom blooms from it too, wisdom that whispers warnings before you step into the same old traps, wisdom that discerns the subtle difference between a spark and a steady flame. Stronger roots anchor you now, roots that plunge deep into the earth of your own worth, unshakable by winds that once uprooted you so easily. This is the alchemy of your giving. What seemed lost transforms into the very foundation that lets you stand taller, love fiercer, live truer. And oh, the gifts it has already bestowed. It becomes the reason you recognize sincerity more quickly now, like a finely tuned instrument that hums at the first true note amid a chorus of false ones. No more do you chase shadows mistaking them for substance. You've been forged in the fire of unmet reciprocity, and from that tempering emerges a clarity that cuts through pretense. You no longer confuse intensity with intimacy, that wild rush of passion that burns hot but leaves ashes in its wake. Intensity can dazzle, can mimic depth with its fireworks and frenzy, but intimacy? That's the slow unfurling of souls, petal by petal, in the gentle light of day. Your love taught you this distinction, etched it into your knowing so that now you seek, and deserve, the real thing that it sharpens the language of your own needs, giving you words precise and unapologetic. Where once you murmured half-formed wishes, hoping they'd be guessed, now you speak them with the authority of one who has paid the price of silence. I need this, you say, and the world listens because you've learned the power of your voice. The love you poured out has not vanished into nothingness, it has woven itself into the luminous thread that runs through your life, a golden filament glowing softly, connecting every joy and sorrow into a tapestry of growth. Quietly, it shapes you into someone more capable of receiving the love you always deserved, not as a beggar at the gate, but as the queen returning to her throne. I bring these words not to tear open places that have begun to heal, not to prod at the tender scars with careless fingers or rake over embers best left cool. No, heaven does not speak to wound, it speaks to mend, to pour oil on bruises and honey on cuts, to knit flesh back to wholeness with threads of light. Consider this message a quiet ceremony of release, performed in the sacred silence between heartbeats. Imagine us here together, in a circle of unseen witnesses, folding an old chapter with reverent hands, not burning it in anger, but placing it gently into the river of time, letting the current carry it away. A blessing whispered over both the one who hurt and the one who loved through the hurt, for the hurter, a plea for their own awakening, that they might one day taste the sweetness of true connection, for you, the lover, a crown of grace that says you did not fail, you shone. There is room in peace for both truths, expansive as the sky at dawn, holding the storm clouds and the breaking light without contradiction. You do not have to deny what happened to move beyond it, no need to rewrite history into a fairy tale or pretend the thorns were never there. Acknowledge the pierce, the bleed, the ache, let it be real, let it teach. You only have to loosen your grip on the story that says it was your fault, that cruel narrative spun from self-doubt, whispering that your heart was too much, your light too bright, your needs too heavy. Release it like a bird from your palm, watch its wings catch the wind, see it soar into irrelevance. Fault is not yours to carry, it was never a burden meant for your shoulders. You are held, even in moments when you feel alone, suspended in a vastness that cradles rather than crushes. Feel it now, invisible arms encircling you, steady as ancient oaks, tender as a mother's first embrace. Every tear you ever cried has been counted, not as a mark against you, a tally of weakness or defeat, but as evidence of your capacity to feel deeply, to dive into the ocean of emotion where most skim the surface. Those tears are jewels in heaven's keeping, each one a testament to a soul alive and unafraid. Every silent prayer has been heard, even the ones you were not sure how to word, those wordless groanings of the heart, rising like incense on wings of grace. God catches them all, deciphers the unspoken, answers before the question fully forms. Every act of courage, however small it seemed to you, a single step forward when retreat beckoned, a kind word offered through gritted teeth, a boundary drawn with trembling hand, has been witnessed. Not overlooked in the grand sweep of things, but noted with delight, celebrated in realms beyond your sight. You are seen, not as a collection of wounds or mistakes, a patchwork of regrets stitched hastily together, but as the radiant soul who kept choosing light even when darkness felt easier, cozier, less demanding. Time and again, you turned toward the dawn while shadows tugged at your heels, and that choice echoes eternally. You are deeply, eternally loved, not conditionally, like a bargain struck in flickering candlelight. If you do this, then I'll give that, not temporarily, a fleeting fancy that fades with the morning. No, this love is unwavering, a constant tide that rises and falls but never departs the shore. It does not waver with circumstance, your successes or stumbles, your radiance or rust. It simply is, vast as the cosmos, intimate as breath. You are protected by forces far greater than any human failing, legions of light, woven into the fabric of reality itself, standing guard when frailty would undo you. Guided in ways you may only understand in hindsight, like footprints in sand revealed by the ebbing wave. Oh, that's why that door closed, that path opened, that stranger appeared with just the word you needed. And nothing you ever gave was forgotten. Replay it with me, not one moment of care, those quiet hours tending to another's hidden hurts. Not one kindness offered without guarantee, flung into the unknown like seeds on barren soil, trusting some miracle of growth. Not one heartbeat that dared to hope, pounding fierce against despair's drum. Each pulse, each gesture, each whispered I love you into indifferent air, they are etched in eternity's ledger, bearing fruit you taste even now in your quiet strength. Rest now, dear heart. Let your shoulders soften, release the tension knotted there like old ropes frayed from too much pulling. Let your breath deepen, drawing in the sweet air of possibility, exhaling the stale weight of what was. Let peace settle over you like the softest blanket of stars, millions of twinkling eyes watching benevolently, warm and patient and unafraid of the dark. They know the night intimately, have danced through it since creation's first hush, and they assure you, light always follows. The past has spoken its piece, raucous at first, demanding audience with every shout and sob. It no longer needs to shout to be heard, its volume has gentled to a murmur, then to silence. Now it is time for your future to begin whispering its promises, soft at first, building like a symphony. Promises of gentler mornings, where sunlight filters through curtains without the sting of memory, awakening you to birdsong and possibility. Laughter that feels safe, bubbling up unbidden, shared with souls who match your joy note for note, no undercurrent of fear. Love that does not require you to shrink into smaller spaces, explain your depths as if they were flaws, or prove your worth through endless trials. This love meets you as you are, expansive, vibrant, whole, mirroring back the beauty you poured into the world. You are not late to this feast of new beginnings. The clock of heaven ticks not by calendars but by readiness, and you are ripe, prepared. You are not behind, lagging in some cosmic race others have won. Every detour, every delay, was part of the perfect unfolding. You are exactly where you need to be to begin again, poised on the threshold, wings half unfurled, heart attuned to the song ahead. Let me linger here a moment longer, painting this future in strokes of light for you to hold. Imagine mornings where coffee steams in quiet companionship, no rush to fill silences with performance. Days where your creativity flows unchecked, ideas birthing into form without critique's shadow. Evenings wrapped in arms that know your stories, not to dissect, but to honor. Friendships that deepen like fine wine, laughter lines etching joy into your face. Passions reignited, dreams dusted off and pursued with a vigor born of wisdom. Health that hums steadily, body and spirit in harmony. Travels to places that call your name, horizons expanding as your heart once did in love. And woven through it all, a love story not of desperation but of delight, two souls recognizing each other across the room, drawn by invisible threads of the same luminous weave. No games, no masks, just presence, pure and profound. You'll know it by the ease, the way it amplifies your light rather than dimming it. This is the return on your investment, compounded over time in realms unseen. But let's not rush ahead entirely. Honor the now, this sacred pause. Feel the earth beneath you solid, the air around you alive. Your body, temple of trials and triumphs, deserves this rest. Tense no more the muscles that carried you through storms, let them melt into softness. Your mind, whirlwind of what-ifs, quiets under peace's hand. Thoughts slow, settle, like leaves on a still pond. You are safe, from harm without and doubt within, shielded by the one who authors every ending into new beginnings. Safe to unfurl, to risk again, knowing the net of grace catches all falls. You are whole, not pieced together from fragments, but originally complete, the breaks only revealing inner gold, like kintsugi bowls more beautiful for their mending. Wholeness that no loss can steal, no wound erase. You are free, chains of old stories dissolved, wings unbound, horizon infinite. Breathe this in, safety as a river's flow, wholeness as mountains peak, freedom as skies embrace. Let it circulate through veins, illuminate cells, rewrite every hidden narrative. You, who loved so bravely, are the architect of your dawn. From this vantage, look back with compassion, not just for yourself, but for the journey's players. The one who couldn't hold your light. Bless them silently, their path winds differently, lessons harsher perhaps. Yourself, the giver. Celebrate the generosity that built empires within. Every player in your story contributed to this masterpiece, you. Now, step forward. The ground rises to meet you, soft as promise. Each footfall echoes with purpose, each breath with power. You carry no baggage, only treasures transmuted. The world awaits your fuller presence, dimmer without it. In quiet moments, return to these words. Let them be your anchor, your anthem. Whisper them on tough days, my love was never wasted. Watch chains fall. Feel roots deepen. See light multiply. And when doubt creeps, remember, heaven's voice is gentle, persistent, true. It speaks through sunsets, stranger smiles, songs that find you unbidden. Listen. It's always there. Your guardian from the light watches, delights, cheers. Endless love enfolds you, now, tomorrow, always. You are safe. You are whole. You are free. With endless love. Your guardian from the light.